May 5, 2007. Douala, Cameroon. Douala, the largest city in Cameroon and its economic capital. It is also the capital of Cameroon's littoral region. Home to Central Africa's largest port and its major international airport, Douala International Airport. Kenya Airways 507 is a scheduled service between Abidjan, Ivory Coast and Nairobi, Kenya via Douala, Cameroon. The aircraft operating Flight 507 is a Boeing 737-8AL. It first flew on October 9, 2006 and it was delivered to Kenya Airways on October 27, 2006. The aircraft is just 6 months old. The aircraft is the newest generation of twin-engine commercial jets. The pilot in command is 52-year-old Captain Francis Mbesha, who had logged 8,500 hours on jetliners. The co-pilot is a 23-year-old first officer. The young pilot joined Kenya Airways a year ago. There are 108 passengers and 6 crew members on board. Many need to catch connecting flights. Flight 507 began in Abidjan earlier in the day. It's now bound for Nairobi, Kenya. The flight is now preparing for the second leg to Kenya. The scheduled departure time of Flight 507 was 11 p.m., however due to weather the flight is now delayed. The pilot used the 737's onboard weather radar to monitor the storm. Thunderstorms and heavy rain showers are passing over the airport. Flight 507 is one of 3 scheduled flights to depart from Douala Airport around midnight today. However, the Kenya Airways crew decides to depart, as they had already been delayed over an hour. The captain believes he can fly past it. May 6, 2007. 12:05 a.m. The aircraft finally departs for Nairobi into the dark night.
Rotate. 80 knots. V1. Rotate. Positive rate.
At 1,000 feet climbing, the 737 starts the turning right to avoid the storm. At 2,800 feet, the Boeing 737 rolls dangerously to the right. The captain fights to level the plane, but it continues banking further and further right. Despite the pilot's efforts, they keep rolling. 5 hours later, the controller in Douala is ending his shift and got a call from Nairobi ATC. The Flight 507 has still not arrived. Kenya Airways Flight 507 was due in Nairobi at 6:15 a.m. local time, but it never arrived. By morning, news of the missing Flight 507 has spread. Families and friends of the passengers want to know where their loved ones are. What happened to Flight 507? 2,400 feet above the ground. After calling for the autopilot to be engaged, Captain Wamwia released the control column, trusting the autopilot to fly the plane. But there's a problem. The autopilot didn't activate. He thought the 737 was flying itself. But the first officer does not respond. The procedure should be for the first officer to push the button and say the autopilot engaged. But he failed to engage the autopilot. Meanwhile, the captain assumed the autopilot was engaged and controlling the pre-selected right turn. The pilot only noticed a problem when the bank angle warning went off. At this point, The captain grabs the controls. He moves the control column fixed left, then right, then left again. For 16 seconds after the bank angle warning, the aircraft continued its dangerous roll. The bank angle warning is designed to give pilots enough time to react, but for some reason this crew wasn't able to do that. The captain makes correction in an erratic manner. The first officer actions further worsen the situation as he gave the control stick near opposite commands to what the captain had done. The captain notices it, but the plane is banked at nearly 115 degrees to the right and is in an unrecoverable situation. The airplane descends in a spiral dive and crashes into a mangrove swamp 42 kilometers south of the end of the airport's runway. The aircraft crashed at 532 kilometers per hour speed at 48 degree down pitch and 60 degree right bank. There were no survivors. All 108 passengers and 6 crew members are died. The National Transportation Safety Committee investigates into the accident. The causes of the crash according to the official report of the NTSC. A deadly combination of poor pilot performance and spatial disorientation contributed to the accident. But at the end, the investigators concluded that one major mistake triggered the entire tragedy. It was the crew's failure to ensure the autopilot was turned on.